So I've brought you out here to the Pentland Hills, which are just outside Edinburgh in Scotland, and they're where I like to come to kind of get away from it all, get away from computers and society, and just sort of think a bit bigger about what's going on. Your presence engineering blog stuck out at me. I first saw it from a tweet from Chris Brogan. I don't often click on stuff he posts, but your words presence engineering really jumped out at me, and I explained a bit on your blog about why that was, because of my past and what I've been involved with back in the mid to early 90s. It is very interesting, because what you say is you're engineering a presence on the internet. Okay, so you've taken your typical marketer's background and said, well, okay, we haven't got those traditional roles anymore. What is it that we're actually doing now that we've got Twitter, we've got YouTube, we've got Facebook? What is it that we're doing, and whether that's companies or individuals? How do we go about creating and then engineering that presence in social media? I come from a slightly different angle. Okay, I label myself an internet business geek. My early background from university is in software engineering, and I built what I called a social engine back in the mid-90s or so, because it was about taking communications technology and looking at the ways that was going to bring people together. And I've always had the kind of outlook that it's about combining, it's about blending the online and the offline world to create an experience which seems whole. So it's not about necessarily social media only, it's about your real life as well, and how those two fit together. So when you're engineering your presence, you really have to think not just about the presence in social media, but your presence in real life, in the real world, here. How do I fit in here? How does my presence online fit in with what I do in real life? How does it portray me, and how do I come across as me, and how do I engineer that across all the different social media that are, and all aspects of my life? Okay, so what my social engine is about combining and blending the real world with the online world quite seamlessly, to the point where it's all just part of one thing, it's part of life. And that's what I said on your blog a bit about weaving social media throughout life. I think what you have to do is look at the different aspects. So with a business, you've got finance, you've got marketing, personnel, operations, and then you've got communications technology, and you've got to weave those together. So it's not about how we can immerse ourselves in social media or immerse our business in social media, but how can we wrap the two together? How can we blend and weave them together? So I mean, if you just picture a weave, that's what I'm thinking. So maybe we need to take the concept of presence engineering, and that's something for the kind of marketing end, but I think in the future, and certainly maybe 10 or even 20 years time, we're going to come full circle to the way things used to be a while ago, mainly through social media, okay? And it's just going to become part of life. It's going to be woven through that. So the presence engineering may be the marketing side of it, but you know, I want to think bigger picture than that. Think all aspects of life, all aspects of a business. How are they going to weave communications technology through all of that? And I guess that's really where I want to go with the rest of the discussion on presence engineering, is where that kind of fits into that bigger overall picture of how communications technology is going to develop over the years, and how in maybe 10 or 20 years we're going to be doing business maybe back as local communities. So maybe ditching like the big brands and looking more at how people interact. Okay, so people doing business with people they like, and not so much about the big brands. And I think that's what social media is doing. That's what's kind of bringing out in the technology, whereas it used to be all to do with ID names and avatars which weren't human. It's now gone very much people-based, what I like to call the human web, or the people web. Okay, so yeah, I hope you've enjoyed the way that I decided to respond. I could have just typed all that obviously and edited, but it's probably best doing it live, and you get to see some of the gorgeous Pentlands. Take care. I guess I was interested to see what you do. It's very easy to just kind of fall into the trap, I guess, of just constantly sitting on Twitter or Facebook, whatever, and typing things, blogging stuff in text. But you did what kind of inspired me to actually get off my butt and come and hike up these mountains today and actually record the video that I was thinking I would do. I actually recorded a video to tell me how to pronounce your name. It does probably seem so obvious, but a lot of people wouldn't do it, I think. A lot of people do just want to sit there and type stuff. How do you engineer video into your presence? Isn't that the next thing that we haven't really got with communications technology yet? The internet can do video, we can share video, YouTube is enormous, but we don't seem to use it quite as much to kind of weave into our presence, I guess. So how do you see us engineering video into our presence? Where does that fit in, and how does it fit in? Is there a place for it? Do we need it? Maybe we can follow up on your new social network for presence engineering and have a discussion about that. You take care, Michael. Bye bye.